Hi, friends. Welcome to Raji's Reflections, a space to pause and reflect. Thanks to all my viewers who travel with me on this beautiful journey. Before we get into today's reflections, if you have not subscribed to my channel so far, please hit subscribe, share, and press the bell icon for further notifications. In our previous episode, we reflected on being alone without feeling lonely. How solitude, when approached rightly, can nourish emotional balance rather than create emptiness. Today, let us take that reflection a step deeper. Solitude is not just a condition of life, but solitude is a companion on the spiritual path. Not only that, true solitude does not reject relationships, it refines how we show up in them. How this inner companionship keeps us emotionally anchored in relationships without losing ourselves. A companion does not isolate us. A true companion walks with us silently, faithfully, helping us see ourselves more clearly. We are going to explore and understand that solitude today, and also what is inner companionship. Inner companionship means being a good friend to yourself. Be with me till the end. Often solitude is misunderstood. When we utter or think of solitude or being alone, we often imagine it as distancing from people, running or renouncing responsibilities, escaping the noise of the world. One reason we avoid solitude is simple. When we are all alone, just see what happens. Try to sit silently wherever you feel like and be alone just for a few minutes. Observe what happens in that few minutes of solitude. You will then notice that it reflects us back to ourselves. In silence, there is no distraction. Our fears speak, our desires surface, our unresolved emotions ask for attention. This can make us feel uncomfortable. Just think, when you look yourself into a mirror, you see your physical appearance. However, you look, you don't avoid seeing the mirror. The truth is that spirituality also does not grow by avoidance, it grows by honest seeing. Solitude becomes a mirror, not to judge us, but to reveal us. And when we stop running from what we see, something softens within. That softening is the beginning of inner companionship. Solitude can be invited gently into our daily life. A few quiet minutes before the day begins, a pause before reacting, a walk without headphones, sitting with a thought instead of escaping it. When practiced this way, it walks with you into relationships, into your responsibilities, and into uncertainty, even. That is why solitude is called a good companion, because life does not happen in isolation. We live in relationships as partners, parents, friends, colleagues, creators, and somewhere along the way, many of us experience this silent struggle. How do I stay connected without losing myself? How do I love deeply without dissolving into the other person's moods, expectations, and emotional climate? The answer lies in this inner companionship. We should first understand the difference between attachment and anchoring. What is attachment? I get attached to my relations. These relationships becomes my emotional weather systems. How? If they are happy, I am happy. If they maintain distance, I panic. If they are upset, I collapse. We mistake emotional fusion for closeness. Whereas inner companionship gives that anchor, making you feel that it is with you always and feels with you and you are not swept away. When you are comfortable being alone with your own thoughts, you do not cling to someone just to avoid silence. Losing ourselves does not happen dramatically. We should understand that. It happens quietly. We start adjusting small preferences. We stop voicing discomfort to avoid conflict. We measure our worth through someone else's approval. We shrink parts of ourselves to maintain harmony. And slowly, we forget who we were before the relationship defined us. This is not a weakness, it is human longing, the desire to belong. But belonging should not result in self erasure. We should understand that we belong to ourselves first. That does not mean we are selfish. It is actually a psychological maturity. How to practice this in our daily life? Imagine your partner comes home irritated. Without inner anchoring, you may immediately assume it is about you. Try to fix their mood anxiously. Observe their irritation. Feel rejected. With inner anchoring, you pause. You notice that they are upset. You feel slightly tense, but this tension is not your identity. You realize that. You respond instead of reacting or consider disagreements. Without inner companionship, disagreement feels like a threat because your stability depends on external validation. With inner companionship, disagreement becomes a dialogue. You can say, I see your point, here is mine. You are not fighting for survival, you are expressing perspective. That subtle difference changes the emotional tone of the relationship. Healthy relationships are not two halves completing each other, they are two whole people sharing space. Inner companionship makes you whole. You enjoy time together, but you are not frightened of time apart. You listen deeply, but you do not silence your truth. You support, but you do not rescue at the cost of your own well being. And something beautiful happens. When you stop clinging, the relationship breathes. When you stop over explaining, communication becomes clearer. When you stop fearing abandonment, love becomes lighter. Anchored love is not heavy, it is steady. Many relationship conflicts are not about the issue itself, they are about unmanaged emotions. Inner companionship teaches you to sit with discomfort, to feel jealousy without exploding, to feel insecurity without accusing, to feel hurt without withdrawing completely. When you can stay with your own emotions for a few minutes, you prevent hours of damage. Before speaking, you ask, what am I actually feeling? Is this fear? Is this an old memory? Is this about now or about my past? This pause is very powerful. It transforms emotional reactivity into emotional responsibility. We were talking about how to become a friend to ourselves. Now, let us understand why that friendship matters. Because life changes, relationships evolve, people grow. Some stay, some leave. If your entire identity is built around another person, change becomes a collapse. But you have cultivated inner companionship, you remain continuous. You remember your values, your interests, your voice, your dreams. You can grieve without disintegrating. You can love without losing your direction. Continuity of self is emotional resilience. Then boundaries become natural and not aggressive. Many people think boundaries create distance. In reality, unclear boundaries create resentment. Inner companionship helps you sense your limits. You say no calmly. You ask for space without guilt. You respect the other person's individuality too because you understand something deeply. Control is not connection, respect is. Let me leave you with this image. Imagine standing near the sea. The waves rise and fall, sometimes calm, sometimes intense. Relationships are like waves. Inner companionship is the shore. The shore does not chase the waves, It does not panic when they rise. It does not disappear when they recede. It remains. When you cultivate that shore within yourself, you do not fear emotional tides. You participate in love fully, but you remain grounded. Let us do a small closing reflection. So, today, ask yourself gently, in my relationships, am I anchored or am I drifting? Am I expressing or am I adjusting silently? Am I loving or am I losing myself? Inner companionship is not isolation, it is the foundation that allows us to love without fear, connect without collapse, and remind ourselves while walking beside another. And perhaps that is the most mature form of love. Two people deeply connected yet deeply rooted within themselves. Thank you for being with me till the end. Stay healthy, be happy, and radiate happiness till we meet again.